floating. People started applauding before Mr. Tushman's word actually registered in my brain. I heard Maya, who was next to me, give me a little happy scream when she heard my name. And Miles, who was on the other side of me, patted me on the back. "Stand up! Get up!" all the kids said around me. I felt lots of hands pushing me forward out of my seat, guiding me to the edge of the row, patting me on the back, high-fiving me. "Way to go, Augie! Nice going, Augie!" I even started hearing my name being chanted. "Augie! Augie! Augie!" I looked back and saw Jack leading the chant, fist in the air, smiling and signaling me to keep going. Amos shouting through his hands, "Woohoo, little dude!" Then I saw Summer smiling as I walked past her row. And when she saw me look at her, she gave me the secret thumbs up and mouthed silent, "Cool beans" to me. I laughed and shook my head like I couldn't believe it. And I really couldn't believe it. I think I was smiling. Maybe I was beaming. I don't know. As I walked up to the aisle towards the stage, all I saw was a blur of happy faces. Faces looking at me, hands clapping for me, and I heard people yelling things out to me like, "You deserve it, Augie. Good for you, Augie." I saw all my teachers in the aisles of the seat, Mr. Brown, Miss Petos, and Miss Roach, and Mrs. Anatomy, and Nurse Molly, all the others. And they were cheering for me, woohooing and whirling. I felt like I was floating. It was so weird. Like the sun was shining full force on my face and the wind was blowing. As I got closer to the stage, I saw Ms. Rubin waving me to the front row. And then next to her was Mrs. G, who was crying hysterically. A happy crying, smiling and clapping the whole time. And as I walked up the stairs to the stage, the most amazing thing happened. Everyone started standing. Not just the front rows, but the whole audience suddenly got up on their feet, whooping and hollering and clapping like crazy. It was like standing ovation just for me. I walked across the stage to Mr. Tushman, who shook my hand with both hands and whispered in my ear, "Well done, Augie." Then he placed the gold medal over my head, just like they do in the Olympics. And then he had me turn to face the audience. I felt like I was watching myself in a movie, almost like I was someone else, like I was in the last scene of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, when Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Chewbacca are being applauded for destroying the Death Star. I could almost hear Star Wars theme music playing in my head as I stood on the stage. I wasn't even sure why I was getting this medal, really. No, that's not true. I knew why. It's like people see you sometimes and you can't imagine what it would be like to be that person, whether it's somebody in a wheelchair or somebody who can't talk. Only I know why I'm that person to other people. Maybe to every single person in that whole auditorium. To me, though, I'm just me. I'm an ordinary kid. But hey, if you want to give me a medal for being me, that's okay. I'll take it. I didn't destroy the Death Star or anything like that, but I just did get through 5th grade. And that's not easy, even if you're not me. Pictures. Afterward, there were a reception of 5th and 6th graders under a huge white tent at the back of the school. All the kids found their parents, and I didn't mind at all when Mom and Dad hugged me like crazy, or when Via wrapped her arms around me and swung me left and right about 20 times. Then Papa and Tata hugged me, and then Aunt Katie, and then Uncle Poe, and Uncle Ben, and everyone kind of teary-eyed and wet-cheeked, but Miranda was the funniest. She was crying more than anyone, squeezed me so tight that Via had to practically pry her off me, which made them both laugh. Everyone started taking pictures of me and pulling out their flips, and then Dad got me and Summer and Jack together for the group shot. We put our arms around each other's shoulders, and for the first time that I ever can remember, I wasn't thinking about my face. I was just smiling, a big, huge, fat, happy smile for all to see. Different cameras clicking away, flash, 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 click, 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 smiling away as Jack's parents and Summer's mom started clicking, and Reed and Maya came over, flash, flash, click, click, And when Charlotte came over and asked if she could take a picture with me, I'm like, sure, of course. And then Charlotte's parents were snapping away, and the little group along with everyone else's parents. And the next thing I knew, 2 Maxes had come over, and Henry and Miles and Savannah, and Amos came over, and Eczema. And they were all there with his big, tight, huddleless parents, clicked away like we were a red carpet somehow. Luca and Isaiah and Nino and Pablo and Tristan and Ellie. I lost track of all who came over. Everybody, practically. All I knew for sure was that they were all laughing and squeezing each other tight, and no one seemed to care. It was as if my face was next to theirs or not. In fact, I don't mean to brag here, but it kind of felt like everyone wanted to get close to me. The walk home. I walked to our house for cake and ice cream after the reception. Jack and his parents and his little brother, Jamie, Summer and her mother, Uncle Poe, Aunt Kate, Uncle Ben, Tata, Papa, Justin, Avia, and Miranda, and Mom and Dad. It was one of those great June days that the sky is completely blue and the sun is shining, but it isn't so hot that you wish you were on a beach instead. It was just the perfect day. Everyone was happy, and I still felt like I was floating. The Star Wars hero music still in my head. I walked with Summer and Jack. We just couldn't stop cracking up. Everything made us laugh. We were in that giggly kind of mood where all someone has to do is look at you and you start cracking up. I heard Dad's voice up ahead, and he looked up. He was telling everyone a funny story as they walked down to Amsford Avenue. The grown-ups were still laughing too. It was like Mom always said Dad could be a comedian. I noticed Mom wasn't walking with the group of grown-ups, so I looked behind me. She was hanging back a bit, smiling to herself like she was thinking something sweet. She seemed happy. I took a few steps back and surprised her by hugging her as she walked. She put her arms around me and gave me a squeeze. "Thank you for making me go to school," I said quietly. She hugged me close and leaned down and kissed me on top of my head. "Thank you, Augie," she answered softly. "For what?" "For everything you've given me," she said. "For coming into our lives. For just being you." She bent down and whispered in my ear, "You really are a wonder, Augie. You are a wonder."